Hey everybody, this is Rhino272. I want to say welcome back to my series of modeling and workflow videos and my process for converting MWO assets into 3D printed models. As you could call, and if you watched the last video, we finished up with the arms and got those taken care of, and now today we're going to go move on to the pelvis. Before that though, let's do a little bit of housekeeping here. All right, so first I'm going to put the appropriate parts into their respective layers. And then hide those layers because we're not going to need these for the time being. And hide you and our torso. And hide you. And then we're going to create it. Change one of the names of one of these. We're going to change this to arm pin. And bink. Make you go away. Before I do anything else, I'm going to just make a copy of this too. Shift-D. Just so we have both pins and boom. All right, and these locators can now just go away because we don't need those anymore. All right, so work on the pelvis. Let's bring our torso back in, but we're going to bring it out a transparent view. And let's go ahead and bring up our source image because we want to make sure we have the torso facing the right way. Okay. Yeah, looks like the larger part is in the front. So zoom in on this. So we need to rotate it. And once again, also bring it down out of the torso. That's about good. Now let's take a look here. Let's make sure we have enough clearance here for. All right, we're going to need to bring it down just a little more because we want it to be able to do a full rotation. We want to clear this area here. This little nub sticking up. So just a little bit more. Now, I will say that the pelvis is probably one of the most important parts, in my opinion, of the whole mech, just because it ties everything together. Otherwise, you just have a torso and legs and arms. So we definitely want to make sure we get the pelvis right because this will connect our torso and then also our legs into each other. So, all right, so we've got that. Now we're going to go ahead and start working on our. We're going to bring in from the original converted file. We're going to bring in the torso twist. Boom. And again, the rotations, all the rotations. 90. Go ahead and actually let's do that with all these pieces. We're going to freeze the transformation, set everything back to 0. And let's bring this down to just about halfway. Actually, what we're going to do is adjust our pivot to right about here. That gives us our halfway point. And we'll snap it down to here. And now our pelvis is in 2 pieces. Let's go ahead and actually let's take a look here real quick. All right, so we've got some vertices that need to get lined up. So I'm going to go ahead and, pardon me, and boom. Oops, that's not how I wanted it to go. All right, let's try this again. Okay, well, we'll do it this way then. Boom. And we'll just snap it to these guys. All right. Now we're going to go and combine this into one mesh. And next, our torso twist. What we're going to do here is we're going to need to, let's scale it up just a bit. And actually, yeah, here's what I'm going to do. I'm not too crazy about this whole peak thing, so we're going to go ahead and snap. That's on both ends. We're going to snap down to here and snap this one up to here. This is a good flat surface. Okay. And we're going to Shift D and modify, freeze our transmit formations. I just take both of them and just boom, same on that. And we're going to make one of these just a tad smaller than the other one. The reason for this is so that our pin will fit into the socket, as it should. So we've got that taken care of. Now we are going to, really doesn't matter which one goes into which end, because one pin is going to go into the torso, the other one's going to go down into the pelvis. So it really doesn't matter which one we choose. But what I'm going to do here is select the larger pin and the pelvis. And we're going to try a Boolean on this. And it worked. So, yay us. Now, we've got our pelvis here. We're going to add that to the pelvis layer and make that go away. And now we're going to try the same thing with hopefully the same results with our torso. And it did. It worked. So, one of the few times that Booleans actually worked here. All right, and we're going to hide our torso, or re-add our torso, because every time you make a major change like this in Maya, it removes it from the layer. So, let's take a look here what we got. Yep, that looks like a torso pin, or torso mount. Let's take a look here. Now, aesthetically, can't say I'm really digging this huge gap right here in the front. So I think what I may do, I'll take some artistic license here, and I'm going to create like a torso ring to kind of hide that just a bit, particularly this area right here in the front. So let's go ahead and hide our torso here. And this will just be a quick little bit of modeling. All right, let's go ahead and start off with a pipe. Okay. So 40. We're going to go and snap this to here. All right, and scale it up. Oops, not the whole thing, just our pipe. Scale it up, and we're going to move it up here. Let's see how that looks. Oh, one other thing real quick. Okay. All right, that's a bit larger than we need it to be. And also it seems to be a bit off center with the pen. So we're just going to snap it to this center vertex. So yay. All right, and scale it down just a hair. Basically, we just want to kind of just snug the outside of this ring. And bring this back down here. And actually, let's go ahead and scale it up some. Bring our torso in, make sure we're not getting any collision here. And just a bit. But we can actually bring this down some more. A little more. All right. So that looks pretty good there. Now what we're going to do is just add a few little accents, as you would. Okay. And grab these vertices on the bottom. So and this guy up just a little. Now, back to grab the vertices on the bottom. Now what we're going to do is we're going to give it a little bit of a flare on the bottom. So there we go. And yeah, that's not looking too bad. Maybe drag this down just a hair. All right, just again, checking with our torso. Torso's looking good. Now, just a couple more items here. We're going to go ahead and select, I'm going to go ahead and select every other face here on the outer ring. And what that's going to do, what I'm going to do then is then extrude it just to give it a little bit of texture. Okay. Hit our extrude. We're going to scale down just a bit. And then push out. Yeah, that gives it the look of almost like a functional gear ring. And that took all 3 minutes. But I think it'll look better on the Mac. So that part's done. Now for the legs, or for the leg posts. Hopefully we can get away with what we just did with the torso post. Otherwise we're going to have to come up with a different way. And looking at the back here. Maybe I may come back to that. Because it looks great from the front, but in the back you still have this big old gap here. Which, actually, let's take a look at the source images. And let's take a look at. Well, I mean, look at the source image here. Looks like the gap is pretty much the norm. So I guess we'll just leave that as it is, and we don't have to worry about too much about that then. All right. What's happened here? Just notice here on the torso there's something weird going on. Pardon me a moment here. I will figure what's going on here. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So that should have been part of this arm layer. All right. Whew. Thought it's gonna have to go back. All right. So torso is done. Um, let's just for just for gigs. Let's go ahead and export this and check this out in our 3D Builder program. Enforcer. We'll call this pelvis test. All right. I mean, it should be pretty should go pretty well. I mean, we're not making any holes in it that may need to be filled up, but I always like checking just to make sure. Yep. So looks like an odd egg sitting in an elaborate egg cup. All right, so closing this out. Yep, discard the scene. We don't need to keep that. And now for the legs. Well, hmm. Try to think about which way to go about this. Well, let's just go ahead and jump right in and see what's the worst that could happen. I know, famous last words. And nice thing is with just like with the arms, the legs, you only need to really just bring in one leg and work on. Then you can copy it over. Okay, left leg, left leg. Here we are. Need the left leg calf, the foot, the hip, talon, pinky, thigh. Actually, we're going to leave the foot items out for the time being. We're just going to focus on the legs at the moment. Cause I get the feeling that the foot will be a video in and of itself. Okay, bring those in. Boom. And well, my computer's not wanting to. That's interesting. Let's try that again. Oh, that's why. I hadn't gone to the converted. Calf, hip, thigh. There we are. All right, so I'm going to push you over here, put you over there. Here's what we're working with right now at the moment. It is our thigh. And Again, let's go back to our source images. Let's see if we can't get some idea on these on the thigh here. Well, it's not very clear as far as which way, whether it's this narrow part goes into the pelvis or into the leg. But from the way it looks like it may be something like this. So that's the way we're going to work this. And we're just going to Shift D and slide you over here. Actually, zip. Okay. We're going to take our pivot point and again adjust it to the center line here. Insert. So oh, yeah, that's what I was afraid of happening. And one more item to try. Nope. Okay, it makes it all blow up. So here's what we're going to do now. And first off, we're going to pull this out here. And we're going to just try making our own little I guess you call the hip joint. And the nice thing is because we're not really worried about ball and socket type movement, we can we have a little more freedom. So get these guys out of my view. Get them out of my sight. Add you. All right, so we just have this guy. So we're going to go ahead and start off with a cylinder. And scale it down just a bit. Bring our pellets back in. All right, scale this down some more. Now it looks like possibly that the hip should be within inside this these curves right here. So we'll just scale up to where we're almost just touching that, and also bring this up just a hair. So actually, we'll bring it up to. We can't bring it up too far because then we'll be up above. So that looks good. I mean, and Shift D. We're gonna make a copy of this, and let's see if we can And it blew up again. Well, okay. So, what to do here? I know what I'm going to do. First off, I'm going to center this pivot to the piece. I'm going to bring this over here and then scale it out to right about there. Let's get rid of you. Okay. So now, let's take a look at our thigh joint. That's our thigh. Okay. Actually, what we could probably get away with here. Yeah. Okay. I'm going to scale this down. Because here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take the thigh. Let me go ahead and fix these normals. Okay. I'm going to, actually, I'm going to try, I'm going to extrude in here and make this a socket, and then this will be my pin. So let's scale this. First off, get rid of you. We won't be needing you. Thank you for your business. And scale that down just a little bit there. No, actually, I want to keep it about that size out. I'm going to give it a little bit of a, because there is that little bit of, because if you look at the picture, at the front shot, there's a little bit of a gap there. So we're going to keep that gap going. And then, oops, close that out. I don't need that right now. And then we're going to extrude these down. And forgot how to use my program for a moment there. All right, and yeah, about there. And then we're going to extrude again. Pull these out to about there. Now, I'm going to go ahead and combine all this, and we're going to just test to make sure it looks good again. And right now we're sitting at just about 30 minutes. So this video may run a little bit longer than normal, at least for this part. I'm going to try to keep it around 30 minutes, and then I'll start another video on actually working the legs. So let's just check this out, and then we'll I'll end the video, and then I'll start the next one. And I do want to thank all you folks that have been watching these. I do appreciate it. I mean, I know it may not be as interesting. It may not be as interesting as watching cat videos, but what are you gonna do? So open with where's my there it is. 3D Builder. Boom. Import it. Now my biggest fear is that oh no, it did not do it. Good. I was afraid it would make the cylinder here disappear, but no, it actually took it. So groovy. All right, so with that, I'm going to go ahead and stop the video, and I want to say thank you for watching. You have yourselves a good day, and you take care.